Good morning and welcome to the Predator Dutch Open. We have reached the last 16 single elimination stage, and what a match we have coming up here on this table. We have Kamila Kojeva from Belgium up against Lena Primus from Austria. It's a race to 7, 9 ball. 9 ball is racked on the spot with the 3-point rule. And in the commentary booth for this one we have Graham Hickman and myself, Tim de Ruyter. Good morning, Graham.
Morning, Tim. Morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, Tim. It's nice to see Camilla back on the EuroTour stage. It's been a few years, I believe, since, well, we haven't seen her this year. I think if my information is correct, it was back in 2022 when she last attended one of the EuroTours. And she has won a EuroTour back in 2021 and been very dangerous over the years as well. So, not sure. I know you're much more knowledgeable in the pool world than myself, Tim, these days, but has Camilla been playing other things, or she just decided to come back? I don't know if you have any insights at all, but good to see her back.
Well, I do know that a couple of years ago she had, I'm not sure if she had 1 or 2 children, but she got pregnant and she chose for family life. And that must be, well, I think it's like 2019-ish. So, yeah, recently she just started playing again. But not as much as she used to do when she was younger, of course. Back then she was really traveling the world and she was playing the China Open, for example, like the big events. I think she's now trying to stay a little closer to home.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes logical sense. And she's, of course, a very, very good player. Her and her sister, they're both dangerous on the pool table. But this should be an interesting match because Lena's also very dangerous herself. But as you said, it is 9 ball, race to 9, apologies. Race to 9 in the last 16s, and it's alternate break. And we have 2 breaks per player for those just joining us. So each player will have 2 breaks, and then we will switch to the other player back and forwards until we have a winner. There is also a 3-point rule in place as well. So on the break you need to make 3 points, and you do that by either pocketing a ball, which will give you 1 point, or getting a ball past the break line for another point. As long as you make a combination of 3, everything is good. So yeah, a bit of a cluster there next to the 2 and the 4 ball, Tim. So we're going to see a little bit of hide and seek, I think, for the moment.
Well, unless she banks a 2 ball, because she had pocket. She did pocket the 1 ball, which I'm a little bit surprised of. Don't really see that much value into going aggressive on the 2.
Yeah, good call. It's a bit pacey. Is it going to hit the 5? It is. I think that's okay. Maybe a jump, Tim, could be an option. She does have a kick shot, but jump shot could be an option as well.
Yeah, I like the jump. I mean, if you look at where the 3 ball is, makes more sense. The kick, what exactly is it gonna do for you? So I like the jump. Long distance though, and gotta stay still. It's close. Close doesn't count. What's the leave? It's a chance for Camilla. No easy shot though. I mean, I think the only way to get there is to go forward 3 rails. Very easy to run into the 6 ball if you go with low right.
Yeah, I guess can she avoid the traffic? I think there's an option. She could also kind of draw into the 6, Tim, I guess, and maybe just take the medicine on the 3, but I think going around the angles is probably the option. pace. 50-yard line.
Yeah, it did land a little funny there. Don't think she's going to be on the scratch. But it's quite close as the 3 ball is just slightly higher than the spot. So still going to play the cut, but it's a nervy one. I could understand if she plays safe, because if you pocket the 3 ball maybe on the thick side, you might scratch.
Yeah, I think she's going behind the 8. Good call. She's misjudged it though. Is she going to leave it? I think she is. Yeah, it's a funny one, Tim, because I agree what you're saying. I think he could have went for that 3. It was definitely potable, but a bit of a twitchy one. It's a bit of a miscalculation on the cue ball. I did think she would get some cover there, but not to be. Good chance here for Lena to get one on the board. It's really just 4 to 5 is probably the shot, Tim, if I'm looking at the table.
Yeah, most of the traveling has to be done from 4 to 5. Quite a big angle. She could leave herself for the cut. Center table. If not, she will have to go around the 7, which is a pretty big stroke from here. She has quite the angle to do that. She might just have to kill the cue ball and take a longer 5.
That's a great shot. Very well done. Cued it nice. It's just enough as well, so the 9 ball isn't really impacting the cueing. I think she can just play this. Probably a little bit of right hand spin, maybe come left side of the 9. She could even come right side of the 9, depends how she feels. Both are fine.
Well, I think I like this better, because you're coming into an area where you're always going to have a nice angle towards the rail. If you play with right spin, a big angle could be annoying to get to the 7. So she's managing nicely. I mean, obviously it's the first rack. It's always a little bit scary because it's the first match of the day. So you don't really know yet how you're gonna perform under the pressure. If you get a couple wins in, you don't doubt yourself that much.
Yeah, got to settle in. The players obviously have had a few practice racks, but as you know yourself, Tim, that's not the same. Hitting a few balls before a match, you're completely relaxed, no pressure on anything. I'm sure after a few racks in, they'll get a bit more comfortable. This is the first match of the day. We will be playing all the way through today to the final to see who wins the Predator Dutch Open from the women's side. It was a hill thriller last night with Tobias Bongas and the young Polish Dominik Jastrzęb winning his first title. Incredible.
And so the first rack goes to Lena Primus, who's still quite young, does put quite a lot of time in. And know for a fact she is still studying, she's busy with school. I think she goes to university. But then on the other side she does do like training camps with a coach in Austria. So she takes like 3-4 days there to prepare for like a stretch of events. So I do believe she also played a Hebel tournament in Australia before she came to the EuroTour. So she's been playing quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, preparing first and then the events. Well, that's not going to be the break. With this 9 on the spot, you kind of need to cut the break quite a bit in order to make a ball.
Yeah, and the points potentially. So you need to definitely try and make a ball, otherwise you're going to have to rely on a bit more power. But yeah, you're right. Lena is a regular on the tour. She's had some good results. She's made some quarterfinals and some semi-finals, but I don't think she's made a final yet, if my information is correct. But please correct me, anybody, if I'm wrong. But I think semi-finals is the furthest she's been. But very good player. Yeah, great chance here, really, to get another rack on the board early doors. There's nothing of any real danger here, Tim, as well. The balls are sitting pretty nice. 5 to 6, and then probably the pace on 6 to 7. Probably the two shots that stand out, but nothing that she can't handle, I think.
Well, so far she is giving herself nice angles overall. Really did not have to force the cue ball in a way. It's all quite natural, which makes the game a lot easier. Of course, we're having pretty new conditions, so a slight bit of sliding cloth. Whenever you play that natural angle, you can play pocket speed, and the pockets will only play bigger for you.
Yeah, we've had a bit of pool already this week, so the table's maybe not sliding as much, which makes it a little bit more difficult. So the angles, like you said, are super important. She has got a bit of angle on this 5, maybe a bit too much, Tim. She might have to drag this in a little bit to make a bit of an angle. This is a bit more trickier than she wanted.
I think it should be okay still. She doesn't have to come all the way up table for the 6. Let's see if she's going for the short side of the 7. Yeah, she does. This is interesting. Could go 2 rails around the 7 ball. Let's let the cue ball go a bit. It's easy to fall straight on this 7 ball to the bottom right, and then not being able to get closer on the 8 ball. Oh, she went back 2 rails. I don't know about this shot, Graham. Easy to run very far from the 7 ball, as the cue ball does open up on the 2nd rail, going low left. The angle really widens on the 2nd rail.
Yeah, I fully agree. You took the words out my mouth. I think playing the draw shot, it can get away from you. It's so tricky. It's not a shot that you play that often. Generally, you run forward on those shots. So, yeah, she's left herself with a bit of a tester. Good thing is the 8 ball is pretty much waiting. So just full commitment on the pot. She will have a shot on the 8. Oh, very nicely done. Showing good signs here early on in this match, Tim. It's a very confident 7 ball.
Well, besides taking the first 2 racks, it's also the first 2 breaks from Camilla. So Lena will be breaking twice in the next 2 racks. Quite a bit of advantage, you would say. Lena Primus now 2-0. And Kojeva in a little bit of early trouble. That didn't really have much chance so far. Well, she did get the shape from 2 to 3, but she got quite awkward.
Yeah, but a perfect start for Lena. Just what you need. Not only winning 2 racks, but as you said, taking the breaks from Camilla. But still, she does need to capitalise. Be interesting to see how Lena breaks. See if she can make that 1 ball in the side or a wing ball. Let's have a look. See if she can make something happen. Gets the wing ball and makes the point, and she's going to be in shape on the 1, Tim. take this. That'll work.
Well, she did cut the break a slight bit more if you compare to Camilla's break. Just a bigger chance to make a ball, and if you look at this layout, not that much of traveling to do. Sure, you'll have to go from the 6 to the 7, 7 to the 8, so there is some back and forth, but it's not big angles, running the cue ball big time. Like, it's quite alright. She did land a little bit straighter on the 3 ball though. Not what she was trying to do.
Yeah, got a little bit more angle on this 4 ball. I wonder if, yeah, she might go short side. But that angle looks quite natural, just to maybe drop this in. And maybe go behind the 5. Just about the pace.
Oh, this is trouble.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, best thing is indeed is to, well, if you have to skim off a piece of the 9, then that's still not bad. But you gotta give yourself a bigger angle on the 6 then, with the angle going up table. And surely very missable, this 6 ball.
Yeah, she's probably going to have to play maybe a little bit of spin, Tim, just to avoid the 9, you think? Because if she is going for the pot, she doesn't want to hit the 9. Or is she playing safe? She could play safe, try and get some cover behind the 8 and 9.
Well, she was looking at holding the cue ball on the right side of the 9, but that's not gonna work on this. And then now she was looking at running into the 8. I don't mind running into the balls as long as you pocket the ball. But she could also play with some inside spin and go 2 rails or 3 rails around the 7 ball. My main worry would be pocket the 6.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think go full blood for the 6 with just a little bit of pace to go into the balls so you don't leave yourself. Well, she's got second prize. It's a tricky 6 ball. All came from that low positional shot on the 5. But maybe no damage at the moment. All depends what Camilla can work out here. Could she go for a 2 reel, try and kick this in, Tim? There is an option for that. Could send the cue ball up table anyway. That might be an option.
Well, it must be 2 reels, right?
Yeah, 2 reels. Go for the kick in. Send the cue ball up towards the 7. She's misjudged it, but it's not too bad.
Well, it's not a very bad result if you think about it. I mean, sure, there is a bank. Sure, there is a decent return safety, but she's made a solid hit. Bank looks pretty straight though. She might go for it. Oh, look at the leaf.
Yeah, I don't blame her going for that. There was such a reward because the 7 is so close to the corner pocket. It was worth the risk. This is Camilla's first probably clean cut chance to get a rack on the board. Just bin this off 2 reels. Going back to the left side of the table.
Yeah, I think it would do Camilla well to get her first rack on the board to loosen up a bit. Gotta make sure she stays close in this match. Oh, perfect on the 8. So a little tap in. Straight in on the 9. To reduce the deficit.
Two one, gets one on the board. That will settle her a little bit. These matches always come down to missed opportunities. That's generally how it works, and you know it's still very early, but that was a good chance for Alina to really turn the screw a little bit and give herself a 3-0 lead, but wasn't to be. Hopefully she can replicate that same break. It was pretty good. She got a ball and made the points and had a shot on the lowest ball. That's all you can really ask for. Let's see if she can do it again.
Well, of course we have more matches going on at the same time on the other TV table. From the Netherlands, Tamara Rademakers up 2-0 over Chantal Stadler from Germany. Wendy Jans already got a big lead in, 6-1 against Rika Vairinen. That's quite a lot of racks in 22 minutes. Now,
maybe a couple of combos in that match, Tim. It's quite a lot of racks in a short space of time, unless they started earlier. But yeah, no success on the break this time, Tim. Just had to push out.
Well, if you look at the overall spread, almost all the balls are down table. So the one that gets the shot on the one ball first doesn't really have to travel the cue ball too much.
Yeah, she doesn't have the hook, but I don't think she can cut this in the side. It can be a bit deceiving sometimes on the screen. That looks a little bit thin for me. She can definitely hit it though. She is looking at the side, Tim. Do you think she can cut this in? Surely not.
No. Well, I mean, who am I to say no, but I would no.
Maybe she was looking at the scratch on the cue ball off the one top side. She's misjudged it. Don't think the one. Does the one go past the 8 ball here? That would be the most logical shot. It does go in the top right. It's a lot more difficult, of course. There you see, it does fly in. Big shot if she goes top right. But she's looking on the other side of the table, Tim. So that tells me it goes past the 8 ball, I think.
I think it does. Now, she doesn't have to stun the cue ball all the way to the right side of the 2. I think you might still be able to kill it in between the 4 and the 2. But it's going to make the stroke maybe a little bit more sensitive. Now, key shot probably to get from the 5 to the 6. Not that it's... Well, it shouldn't be a problem, let's say it like that. But it's very easy to maybe get a longer 5 ball. Now suddenly you have to power draw on the 6.
Yeah, it's interesting. She played into the 5. And she did put that 2 ball into the far right side of the pocket, so that was obviously intentional. I think she could have cut the 2 a little bit thinner and went around the 5, but chose to go into the 5, which is still, of course, fine. Yeah, where would you want the cue ball here, Tim, to get down for this 6 ball from the 5?
Well, I think she might still be able to play with low left into the long rail, running towards the 5, and then you would be on the right side of the 5 ball. So it gives you a slight angle to the bottom left corner. But she did not play as much left spin on the cue ball as I expected her to do. Now she might have to draw to the right side of the 6, which is dangerous with how the 7 ball is laying. She looks to be dead straight. Perfect. Nice shot there.
Very good shot. Very small margin of error. Just trying to find that bottom short rail. She couldn't have put it any better, Tim. Let's be honest. This should be pretty much formality from here. She can just leave an angle on the 7 and possibly run below the 9 up for the 8 ball. Be nice to get a pretty straight 8 ball, or even an angle, doesn't really matter. I don't see any major dramas here. Should be straightforward for Camilla. Well, she's going to steal 2 breaks back herself, Tim. Just what she needed. All of a sudden, it's funny how the game turns. Even at the early stages, Lena, maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity on that 6 ball a few racks ago. Could say she had a chance to go 3-0. And now all of a sudden, you're looking across the room and it's 2-2. It's a crazy game, Tim. Swings and roundabouts.
Well, on the other side, if you think about it, like you mentioned, she did have that great opportunity, but I think also she could have played the shape on the 5 ball a little different there earlier on, which, yeah, I think she was still supposed to get out. She did win the first 2 racks on Camilla's break. Now Camilla has won the next 2 on Lena's break. I'm just wondering if there is like a pattern coming up, trading off each other's game, well, each other's breaks. I've only seen 1 ball go in on the break. Can she make 1? She needs a bit of cut. I'm just surprised she's hitting it. Well, she's kind of overcutting. She's like hitting it on the other side of the ball, which, well, she has made a ball on the break and it's legal. Plenty of points, but not sure if this is the way to go, Graham.
Yeah, I think time will tell, Tim. The thing with that kind of break is you can see that the 1 ball is going above the centre pocket. So exactly what you're saying. She's kind of catching it a little bit off. But the downside of that is if you keep an eye on this 1 ball, it will generally head towards the top short rail, which means that you'll probably run the risk of not having much of a shot on. But yeah, I guess we will see. That's a bit of a loose one. She was trying to hide the cue ball there. Chance for Lena to maybe take control. Be great if she could get some kind of cover. Don't think she can. Can she play off the right side here and, yeah, drift down below the left side of the table, get some cover there?
Yes. Yeah, she can definitely cut the 1 ball to the top short rail. And that little nudge might help her out. Yeah, it has. Full safety. I was wondering for Camilla if she could have maybe banked the 1 ball 2 rails back down table and bring the cue ball behind the 4. I think would be a little bit easier to, even if you don't stick the cue ball with the 4, you still have a chance of getting somewhat of the hook.
Wow, look at this, Tim. No hand on the table jump. Don't see that very often.
Well,
Maybe that's why.
Well, she did put a little bit of left spin on there. I know for a fact that both Camilla and her sister Diana, who was playing in the Challenge of Champions Hayball event in Australia last week, that they both jump quite often like this. With success. I mean, I'm not saying, of course she's missed the ball now, so it's easy to judge, but I have seen it work.
Yeah, they are both very good jumpers of the ball. I have seen it. I can concur and agree with you. I guess it's just something you don't see every day. I mean, it was very difficult to put your hand on the table given the placement of the cue ball, but nonetheless, ball in hand for Lena. A great chance. These balls are sitting very nice indeed. Just pull this back down for the gap. How's the pace? Has she gone too far? No, she's perfect. I think she's even got a nice angle to draw this up the side left rail, Tim, so this looks good.
Yeah, just gotta... Well, I would think maybe cheat the pocket and go 2 rails. Would like to at least get the cue ball off the rail. She has done that nicely. I think she might be just fine with the angle on the 5 ball.
Yeah, I'll just be probably just a little bit of travelling from the 6 to the 8 ball. She doesn't want to be just off straight though. She likes a little bit of angle. She's just putting her cue a little bit to the left of the cue ball, so that tells me she's trying to... She has got an okay angle. Can be deceiving. Her hand on the table is a little bit of a maybe awkwardish bridge, but she should be fine. Let's punch this off 1 rail back to the middle of the table. Yeah, she cued that well. Nice shot. I think what you said, Tim, I think the breaks are going to be interesting in this match. So far, only really Lena has had a chance. Granted, we're only 5 racks in, but you can already start to get a theme of how these breaks are working or not working. So it's going to come down to who can find a shot on the break.
Yeah, they're definitely not missing balls all over the place, so it's really not about the missed shots, it's more about the creating opportunities. In the meantime, let's have a little look across the room. Tamara Rademakers now 4-0 against Chantal Stadler. Sandra Baumgartner, also from Austria, is now 3-2 over Silvia Lopez Fibla, or yeah, I would say Lopez Fibla. Wendy Jans now 7-1 against Rika Vairinen. Daria Siranchuk 5-1 against Nina Torvund. That's an interesting one. Anna Gradisnik tied at 4 with Christine Steinlager. Bojana Sarac 5-1 up against Sabrina Hammer. And Ina Kaplan down 5-4 against Vivienne Heine. A new name for me, but she must be playing well to be up against Kaplan.
Yeah, some interesting scores. Nice for Tamara to fly the Dutch flag as we are here in Assen in the Netherlands for this event. This looks good for cover. And on just while you were talking there, Tim, I'm sure you've seen the break. Very similar theme. Points not made. No ball threatening a pocket. So looks like it's going to be a little bit of nip and tuck at the beginning of these racks if nobody can find the ball. It's a pretty good save. 2 real kick maybe, Tim, here. Try and catch this one ball. Well, even if you catch it full, it's probably going to run into some of that traffic, you would think.
Well, you might have to go for 2 rails and cut the one into the 5. You could go aggressive. Well, that's not a horrible leave. The 1 doesn't go by the 2. Don't think you have something on the 5 ball aggressive here.
Maybe a carom could be on, Tim. If she does drop it in, just play it relatively slow. The 1 ball could go into the 2, which then would keep the 1 ball kind of around the same area. She might have a shot on this 1, either in the bottom corner or the side maybe.
Well, I was looking into hitting the 1 ball thin on the right side. Leave the 1 behind the 2 and the cue ball on the bottom short rail. She did manage to make the 5, but no future. And the jump cue coming out, the air rush. She's going airborne.
Yeah, but where the placement of the 2 is, there's a lot of value in this. And it's pretty straight, so as long as she can make good contact, good things can happen here. Here you go. She's on the 2 as well, so good jump. It's a bit thin, but 3 ball is there as well, so a good chance there, Tim. She's played a good shot.
Yeah, it's a tricky cut though. I mean, I don't know. I
Q1.
feel you kind of have to shoot, but it's off. It's not like you can play with nice confident stroke. It's not gonna make the pocket smaller.
Yeah,
easily missed.
It's a tough one though, Tim, isn't it? You know, you're kind of forced into the jump shot. In the back of your mind, you knew if you had a shot on the 2, you'd probably have to go for it. She could have played safe, but I think she played the right shot. It was just a tricky one. I don't blame her for going for it.
Yeah, definitely understandable she went aggressive, that's for sure. We've just had the event in Vietnam, or the final is happening right now, the World 10 Ball Championship, also live at Pro-Billiard TV. And we've seen so many balls being missed into the center pocket that I'm actually considering not shooting to the center pocket anymore.
Yeah, but then on the other side, we've seen some incredible shots into the side pocket in the men's game. Some you just wouldn't believe. So yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher. Maybe you'll see a lot more banks, Tim. You need to work on your bank game, maybe. Take the banks instead.
Well, I might play something in the side if they're laying in front of the side pocket, but the 2 ball she just played, it's just so easy to miss that shot. It's just because of the angle the 2 ball was laying into.
Yeah, of course. If you were right behind the 2, it's a different story, but it was a bit of a thin cut. Speaking of off-angle shots, this has gone a little bit away from Camilla. The centre pocket is probably the most logical. However, given where the 7 ball is, will she have to be taking this in the top left, Tim? Not sure on the angle. She's in a little bit of a spot of bother here.
Well, it's a little bit of a hit or miss though. Like, if she doesn't make the 6, she's most likely to sell out the whole rack. If she makes it, she will be on the 7th to the bottom left. Oh, look at the cue ball.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. What a chance. Even if the 7 doesn't go in the side, this ball in hand makes the situation a lot easier. She can put the cue ball on the long rail if she wants to freeze it on the rail and have a bit of an angle that way on the 7, or she could stop shot around that area to leave a bit of angle. It looks like it goes in the side, Tim, but back to your point on the center pockets, is it one of those funny ones?
Well, I'm just not gonna even think about it. Like, that's my state of mind right now. It's a funny thing, but I mean, as long as you give yourself angle, I'm surprised she put herself straight on the 7. That's a little bit of a mistake. Anything on with an angle on the 7, stun off the rail. The pocket is going to grab all right in the corner.
Yeah, she's created extra pressure for herself here on this 8 ball for me, Tim. With that ball in hand, she could have played a stop shot on the 6 and still had quite a nice angle on the 7. Part of me thinks she was trying to put that cue ball on the rail just to leave that kind of stun out shot from the 7. Tester here.
Also, great cueing. Once again, she does make the long shot, so shot making wise, she's been doing quite well. Only losing the cue ball slightly here and there. So it's Lena Primus who now gets another 2-game lead. Can she protect this lead? Or will we see another small comeback from Kojeva?
Yeah. I wonder what they're talking about. Interesting little conversation. Any ideas, Tim?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it was... for a second I was thinking maybe Camilla has to take a break or something like that, but she only went over to put the score and didn't do much more, so I really wonder what happened there. But they seem to be very friendly to each other too, so maybe there is more to this match than we know.
Yeah, maybe just some discussion about something. But, well, made the points. It does work a little bit in Lena's favour, because Camilla will have to come and possibly play a push out unless she wants to go aggressive. But I can't imagine. Well, she could probably jump and take the one on, but I think push out's probably the logical option here. Tim, what do you think? Is she aggressive, or does she try and find a spot somewhere?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of the jump cue in this case, but on the other side you're down 4-2. If you don't make the jump, you might sell out the rack instantly, so it's alright though. The only thing is, this push out, I think it gives your opponent a lot of opportunities to find the hook. Easy to get distance on the balls.
Yeah, there's even an aggressive bank if she wants to take it. There you go. Oh, she might be unlucky here. That was a good effort. I think Camilla kind of maybe, I don't know if she left that as a tempter, but jump cue is coming out. Any kind of nudge other than full ball contact, she probably would have had a look at the 2, but needs another good jump here. Can she get 2 for 2? Nope, not on this one. She makes the 3, but that doesn't help. So yeah, 2 ball does go in the top right, as you see. She'll probably have to... Well, the 4 ball might also go past the 5, Tim. But she's got ball in hand. Look at me. This is the first match. Early morning. Yeah, she's got ball in hand, so... I forgot about the ball in hand, obviously. So yeah, this is wide open here. Tables sitting.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, and that's what you see very often when there is no balls near the center of the table. In this rack, what is it, like shape on the center of the table on the 4, then shape from the 5 to the 6 in the center of the table, same on the 7, and then on the 8 you're trying to get straight on the 9 obviously, but most of it is just finding the center of the table. It's almost a drill.
Yeah, just what I was thinking. You see players practicing those types of exercises. It's a good target just to get that cue ball It's good to know that anywhere in the middle of the table you're going to be pretty much okay. Just what she needed. So that push out does seem to have worked in her favour, even though Lena did make the bank. She kind of was forced into a jump shot. But no, don't see any major issues either. She might be a little bit off angle here. She might have to punch this a little bit more. Yeah, had to put a bit more pace in that. She's got a little bit. She might have to take a longer 80 at Tim. Oh, she might have to, I don't think she'll put a big stroke on this. But she is a little bit off angle here.
No, she has to take the medicine. Just make sure you're not queuing over the 9. That's a mistake what happens quite often, you know. Players are gonna try and just make the 7. And now suddenly they're queuing over the 9 on that longer 8 ball. That would be horrendous.
Yeah, good call, Tim. Keep it simple. I say keep it simple. Don't think she can run forward on this one and run around the angles. This will have to be a draw shot, probably above the middle pocket, Tim. Take a little bit longer 9. That might be her plan.
Yeah, with how far the 8 is, well, how near the 8 is towards the corner. If you play low left, you might be on for the scratch. So I like to stay above.
Wow, flirting with danger. Oof. I think she got a little bit more into that than she anticipated. It's worked out okay though.
Yeah, she did get perfect on this 9. To pull one back. Yeah, so score now 4-3. Lena still leading. Camilla once again making that slight comeback. Just refusing to let Lena run away with the set. So it's a good grind so far from both players.
Yeah, they can't seem to hold their breaks at the moment. All the breaks are getting stolen by the other player. So this theme continues. One of them will be hopefully trying to break that rhythm. Good chance for Lena here. Makes a ball. Is she going to make the points? Yes, she is. Not really a shot on the 1 though. It's a thin one, but the 2 is a little bit messed up with the 3 down there. Yeah, this is probably a bit too thin, Tim. Be a safety shot here, I think.
Well, the 1 is pretty close near the rail. She could try to cut this with inside spin and run the cue ball 2 rails to the bottom short rail. And from there you might be able to play a good safety on the 2 ball. She made it straight away. Little nudge on the 2. Look at this.
Wow. Talk about nudges, Tim. It's one of yours, that, isn't it?
Well, she did get a little bit lucky though. I mean, she probably was still trying to play the safe on the 2, but she's not gonna play the safe on the 2.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that 1 ball itself was a pretty good cut. It was much thinner than it looked on the screen. So this little nudge on the 2 ball has really opened this chance. I think she's just wondering about how is she going to go into the 4? Can she avoid the 4?
Yeah, I think. Okay, interesting. I was thinking still top right would have worked.
Yeah, I thought she could have also maybe played off the thin edge of the 4 and just came back across the table. That could have also been an option, but she preferred to play it this way. A little bit more travelling from 3 to 4. She's bumped into the 8, but she's going to be okay, Tim. A little bit of a bumping around, but luckily the 5, the good angle you see does go in the side comfortably, so long as she does have a pretty okay angle here. And then 6 to 8 is a pretty good connector, so this is the key shot here. Well, Tim, this could be the moment of changing of the theme. A chance to break and run for the first time in the match, and just at the key moment as well.
Well, denying the comeback. Lena Primus now again with that 2-game lead. 5-3 up now, and she'll be... No, she won't be breaking, no. It is Camilla's break, 2 now. They went out of rhythm. They did go off script, because I thought they were gonna go 2 each the whole match. Got me there for a second.
Yeah, this could be a change. So Camilla does need to try and find something here, because so far her breaks haven't been successful or working. If you keep an eye on that 1 ball, she's kind of hitting them a bit too full, and it's going above the left centre pocket. There you see it again, she's hit that full in the face. So the 1 ball, when you break like that, naturally tracks towards that middle diamond at the top of the table. So she held the cue ball pretty straight because she hit the pack pretty straight, Tim. But that break, you're going to struggle with that one, I think, to get a shot on the 1, unless you get a lucky bump on the 1. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, she'll have to... It's okay. The biggest problem I have with this safety is that most of the time it's so easy to hit. Or the jump cue comes out and then it's almost a guaranteed hit. Don't you think she could have banked the 1 ball down table and the cue ball behind the 7-8?
Yeah, I agree. I think you see that separation shot more and more because it's the easiest of the 2. But when you start looking at fine margins, I'm with you, Tim. The 1 ball, I mean, it's a big ball to hit really from a couple of rails there, you see. I mean, she might be leaving this on. Yeah, it's worked out this time, but I think she can get it just maybe. Maybe not.
No, I don't think it's on.
No, I agree, you're right. She can play a 1 rail kick, just flick off the right side of the 1, try and send the cue ball over to the right side of the table. Oh, she got the double kiss though. Not a terrible result,
Well,
but
the differences in these safeties are so big, because if you consider, like I just mentioned, the distance on the 1, the cue ball behind the 7-8, it just gives your opponent a smaller chance to hit the ball and be lucky. Because every time you leave like an easy hit, funny things can happen.
Yeah, she went for a two-way shot there, knowing that the two ball would be there waiting. She did have an option for a safety shot as well. She could have went a couple more rails to try and go above the 8, but decided to go a little bit aggressive, but only leaving a safety option for Camilla here. Maybe she'll be trying to bring the one ball up table this time, or is she going to separate them again? She might have left a gap here. I think definitely hit the one ball. I don't know if the bank is on, but it would have to be a power bank if it was on. What do you think, Tim? She can definitely hit it.
Well, the bank is there. Would be really aggressive though. Doesn't have to. Could send the one ball up table, yeah.
Oh, that bumble help
Nicely
as
done.
well. The two ball has gone a bit messed up now with the 9, so that changes a little bit. It does go in the top right corner, but Camilla electing for a jump shot here. Well, so you can only see the edge of this, Tim. This is going to be an interesting jump.
Good
Oh, she's
hit.
flipped it.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't be too happy actually, because I don't want to be the one that makes a 2 ball. Or to open up the 2 ball. Because the 2 doesn't go to the corners. Very sure there's no 9 ball carom on there as well. Probably banking the 2 ball 2 rails above the 4-7.
That's a big misjudgment. And it does go in the top right as well, Tim, so good chance here. Pop this in the top right. Come off the left, long rail, back out for the 3 in the bottom right. And Lena has been cueing pretty well so far, so she'll be feeling up for this one. Yeah, a little bit low. Will she have to drop this in and flick off the 6 ball, Tim? Scratch could be on though. Might be the only option she has though. Flick off the 6 and drift up table a little bit for the 4 in the top left as we see it, Tim.
I think she might run into the 6 ball very full. So she might be like instantly hooked behind the 9 unless she draws full off the 6. This is, I mean, it's by far easy to get to the 4 ball from this position. I probably would play this a little bit wild though, like just... Yeah, I think she was so focused on getting the cue ball there that she offered pocketing the ball a bit.
Yeah, I think you are right. If you notice, she missed the pot by some way and she caught the 6 ball kind of half ball. If she did overcut it, I think she realised that she was going quite full into that 6. But another jump shot coming here. This one's a little bit bigger because there is less balls on the table. Makes the contact. 3 balls coming round. Where's it going to finish?
Well, I have to say, a couple good leaves now in a row. Could have sold out a lot more the last couple shots. But it's not gonna last forever. At some point you are going to give up something.
Yeah, I think Lena's just got to be patient. Oh, that needs to hold up. Good 3-ball. Oh, it's right on the rail as well, Tim. These aren't nice in terms of position for thin edges. I kind of like the doubling the 3 up on the left long rail, trying to put it back into that middle diamond where the cue ball is now, and trying to send that cue ball over towards the 6-ball if she can do that from that angle. But she's going right side.
Yeah, I just think the cue ball is going to be too wide off one rail behind the 6. Oh, she got this very thick. Then again, like, this is what I mean, like, she is getting somewhat of a result every time, but it's also because Lena is not putting her in jail yet. She does get the save, she doesn't sell the shot, but Camilla is most of the time able to have a little bit of a roll. Oh, that cue ball had to be frozen to the 8.
Yeah, that for me was I don't know, too much of an easy outcome for Camilla here. She even has options. There's a chance this 7 could even go in if she wants to go for a kick kind of combo. I think she can reach it maybe. Oh, she's got to use the rest. I mean, she could even play it thin enough off the left edge of the 3 and send the cue ball around the table. Oh, she went for it. Another result though, Tim.
Well, pretty big ball on this 3-ball. You can bank it off the 7 in the corner. So, don't think that is going to be too tricky. Maybe the shape on the 4. But then again, if Lena stuck the cue ball frozen to the 8, Camilla would not have been able to... Oh, she cut it too thin. She played it too well, actually. Oh
wow. That is a roll. But I guess it's probably evened itself out. Camilla's had a few. She might have to go, left side. Of course, this is makeable. She has to go left side of the table. There's no real other option.
Well, she's always gonna get the shape. She has to make this 3-ball. Nice shot there.
Yeah, it worked out well. There was a big chance of a scratch there too, but was okay. A little bit of a tester on this 4. She just got to focus on the pot, but these ones are missable, Tim, from the rail. Oh, that's a great shot. That was a high difficulty shot. Played well. She's got a lovely angle on the 6 now as well. So, yeah, a few little bits of rub, you could say, from some of the jump shots and kick shots. But chance has fallen to Camilla to try and get a rack back. Just pull this back a little bit. Just a couple of inches to make it straight as possible.
Well, refusing to give up this 9 to pull one back. Kamila Kojeva refusing to get this match, or to have a bigger gap than 2 racks in this match.
Yeah, I think that was on her break as well, Tim. So that's the first rack I think Camilla has won on her break, because she will have a second break now.
Yeah, first player through to the quarterfinals. Wendy Jans beating Rika Väyrynen 9-2. Definitely a great cueist, Wendy Jans is. From the same country as Camilla. Completely different style though.
Yeah, and there's that break again, Tim. The one ball tracking towards the centre of that short rail at the top. It just needs to either have more pace or a little bit less pace. But it's a repeat. How's the pace?
Well, this is the same thing. Like, that cue ball has to be behind the ball. Or make sure you don't hit the 6-9 and get the 3 and the 5 in between. Just gonna try and bang the one ball down table. Well, if Lena wants to go aggressive, she could cut the one with low left and go 2 rails to the 2 ball. Sure, it's a very difficult shot though. Never. Well, I would probably be scared to miss the ball and sell out something way easier. This is never a hanger.
Yeah, but I think the safety options are limited as well, Tim. So I like your shot choice. I think she goes for this. The left side of the table is pretty clear from traffic, so it's worth the risk for me, given where the 2 is and the angle she has. How's the pace, Tim? Oh, she's probably just 2 or 3 balls away. That was a good effort.
Yeah, probably a little short just to make sure she would make the ball. Of course, that shot was easier when you put less pace on it. Oh, look at this for a shot. Oh, I thought it was in. Close, straight back.
That's not bad. I think she has got a pretty much full cover on the 2, so it's one of them ones, Tim, where you go below the 8 ball, you're going to catch a thin edge of this 2 at best. So where the 2 ball goes, it's going to run into the 8 probably here. That's why she's going bottom rail. Don't blame it. Oh wow, that was a very big misjudgment. But this 3-ball, do you think it goes in the top, Tim? I don't think it does. I think that 3-ball is out of action in all pockets at first glance anyway.
Well, it might barely go. I think it does go to the top right. She doesn't look too worried. Yeah, what a match we've seen so far. Could play the 3-ball in the corner and run the cue ball into the 5 to push it over to that same corner. Always going to be on the 4. Would make life maybe slightly easier. Could also stop the cue ball and play 2 real shape from 4 to 5. And play the 5 in the right center. It's easy to fall. Wrong angle on that. And she's missed the 3-ball. Just slightly too wide.
Yeah, I like your shot on the 5, Tim. I think just rolling the 3 and pushing the 5 a little bit closer to that rail could have been more favourable, 4 to 5. But she chose to play on the 4. And Lena's got a chance here to come off 2 rails. It's going to be a thinner 4-ball than she hoped. I thought she might have screwed that in a little bit. Playing it that kind of way, she was always going to run down table, Tim. I think she needed to probably draw it a bit more or come below the 4. She has got the edge. There is a kick and stick option, but the 9-ball kind of comes into play then, so she might be playing an edge. She's playing the slow separation again. She seems to favour that shot a lot. It's pretty good.
Well, I don't mind it, for example, when there's less balls on the table. Because then the hit is easy, but to get the cover is not that easy. But when there's still a couple balls on the table, well, of course, when I was gonna say it's easier to get kind of lucky or a little bit fortunate here and there, of course she's gonna sell out right after. But yeah, it's just a percentage game, I think. You cannot just always play the side-to-side safety, but it has worked out this time for Camilla.
Yeah, she's a little bit low on this 5, so I think she might have to run it off a couple of rails. She could drop it in, but she's definitely going to have a bit of a longer 6-ball, Tim, here. I think running it around could be more beneficial, potentially. Well, she doesn't have the best angle unless she can avoid that 9. I think she might be able to. Can she get around the back of this 9, Tim?
Yes, I would say so. She could play with low left. She could stay away from the 9. Also, I think I might like that more. If you go around the 9, you have to load the cue ball up with a lot of left spin. It is a little bit in between though. It's not the choice to either go with just low left or force follow left is a tricky one. Both have their challenges. Just gotta watch the scratch. Oh,
that could be a big moment.
the difference there was if you play a lot of left spin, the pot itself was going to be more difficult, but you would not get anywhere near the scratch. So she tried to play it a little bit more stunny and less spin. It's gonna cost her the rack, and just as this match is going, 2-game gap. Looks to be quite in place here. It's a little bit of work on this 8 though. Top left spin to real shape.
Oh my gosh. Don't know what happened there. That was just a total... Yeah, not sure what happened there.
Yeah, are you playing the cut? Are you playing the save?
Yeah, I think she's playing safe here.
Yeah, I do like this. Kibble just slightly ran too far, but I kind of like the shot she's tried to play. The only thing is you should always just make sure to take care of the 8. And the cue ball is bonus.
Wow, this is a big shot compared to the different shot for the one she's just missed. Oh wow.
Ooh.
She'll feel a lot better after that, especially after the 8 ball that she's just missed a moment ago, Tim. She had a bit of a roll when she missed the 8, but gets it back to the 2-rack gap between Camilla and herself. And now it's back to Lena's breaks. And we're coming to the business end of this match now, so these next 2 breaks could be quite pivotal. I think Camilla maybe is taking a timeout, Tim, or is she just going to put the score on?
Well, she did bring her one.
So yeah, sorry about that. Just a slight technical issue, but the players have taken a short timeout. So we will just take a short timeout as well, and when the players return, we will be talking you through the completion of this match. 6-4, currently in favour of Lena Primus over Kamui Brand. We'll be back in a moment. So players are back. Lena breaking off 6-4 in front. Not the best of breaks, it looks.
Well, welcome back, everyone. We've got quite a tense match on our hands here between Kamui Brand from Belgium and Lena Primus from Austria. Lena leading 6-4. Pretty close encounter. Graham Hickman and myself, Tim de Ruyter, in the booth trying to go over all the shots, but quite a difficult match in my opinion. Funny positions, weird layouts. Kind of feel like both players, you know, they're playing a solid match, but they seem to not be going yet in some way.
Yeah, I think that's a fair reflection, Tim. The breaks definitely haven't been as wide open as you would think, so there's been a lot of little safeties, kick shots, there's been some jumps. Nothing really full flowing, as you would say. That's a pretty good pot though. A bit of work to do in this rack. She does have a cut in the side. The 3 does go in the top corner as well, but where the 4 ball is, it will be a 4-6 combo, you would think. Would you take this in the top, Tim? Or would you? I don't know if that 5 is going to come into play if she goes in the side.
I kind of feel like you have to play the side pocket. There's no value if you play the 3 in the corner. You just, I'd rather shoot the 4-6 combination from this position than a stop shot on the 3 ball and having the super cut. Not that this is a hanger though, I mean, I probably would hit rail first on this by accident. But at least you're like kind of straight on.
Yeah, for me it's a little bit off angle as well, so the way the 4 ball will go into the 6, if she does catch it correctly, 4 will naturally go to the left side of the table. So running the cue ball forward isn't really ideal. She probably wants to keep the cue ball as high as possible. Big misjudgment really. Second prize, up and down.
Well, this is exactly what I meant when we came back from the break. Just, we've seen a lot of, well, not rolls like this, but a lot of funny things happening like this, and just, they're cueing the ball nicely, but it just doesn't give someone rhythm around the table, because every time they're having to kick, having to jump, save, it's just, you don't get that feeling like you can go. Was doubting to jump this 4, but I don't really see any value besides not being able to reach. The cue ball's tracking towards the 7 if you make the 4, so she's kicking at this. Has to check the cue ball a bit though. Slight bit of left spin on the ball. Straighten it up. This is what I mean, like the 4 again, I don't think the 4 ball is on.
Yeah,
Just
I agree.
makes for a scrappy match. That's what I'm saying. Like, this has nothing to do with the players. Just sometimes the balls seem to dictate how the match is going to run.
Yeah, good safety option here though. Needs to slow up. Oh, she left a gap here, Tim. I think it's close enough to the 6 maybe. Oh, maybe not from that angle. I think she might even be able to pot this in the top right, potentially. Maybe
Well,
not.
I would say so. The biggest problem for me, then again, is it's just not gonna give shape on the 5. So you have to run the cue ball 2 rails forward, something aggressive, and I just don't think that's a shot to play. She could play maybe half ball, putting the 4 next to the 5 and the cue ball on the left side of the 7.
Yeah, just more containing. Didn't really have much of an option. Bit of a missed opportunity there from Lena. Giving her a shot at that 4. Probably should have been a hook really.
Yeah, a bunch of conservative safeties. Well, it's not easy to get the hook there. And the main thing is just make sure not to leave the object ball on. Take care of the object ball. At least guarantees you another visit at the table. Now a good chance for Camilla. Could possibly bring the cue ball behind the 5 and bank the 4 ball into the 6. Oh, she caught it real thick. She's gonna get behind the 9. Oh, she did get behind the 9, but I'm quite sure she wasn't playing this. Might have been trying to get the 9 in between, but not to have the 4 ball come off the short rail.
Oh, this is going to work out. That was a quite fortunate roll. She'll take it. Kick shot is pretty straightforward, but depending on what she can leave, surely she can't pot this. I think it's a kick shot, Tim, I would, judging by the angle.
Well, she's going to leave this on. This is a chance. Not a easy chance though. I mean, to get from the 5 to the 6 is going to be a difficult shot. And in order to be able to play with low right, for example, on the 5, you'll have to get a much straighter shot on it. Think she should be just fine to get past the side. Don't think it's gonna be like way past the side pocket though. It could be coming into play, but should be alright if she hits it smooth enough.
Yeah, even if she's middle diamond would be fine if she could get there. Oh, she's going to be higher than she likes. Ooh, caught the point, Tim. This is a tough. It's potable. I think she probably could be tracking into the 9 ball maybe, which wouldn't be a bad outcome. She had a similar one earlier in the match, a thin 6, which she didn't make. Very similar situation actually. Oh, great shot. Very well judged. Executed perfectly. 2 more good shots needed. Oh, Lena did the hard work.
Yeah, just wondering, was she trying to get perfectly straight on the 8? Like, was she really trying to get it straight? And that's why she cheated the pocket just slightly? Or did she just misjudge the aiming?
Yeah, I think she was just trying to get a little bit closer to the 8 ball. But what a chance here for Camilla to get one back again. Oof, that one wobbled. That will work. So a couple of missed chances from Lena's, keeping Camilla on her heels. Chance to get back within 1 again.
Well, that surely was a chance to get a bigger gap than just the 2 games we've seen all match. But now, if Camilla makes a 9, we could see this match go real close all the way to the end. So 6-5 now. Gotta give credit to Camilla. She's been behind all match. Not by the biggest margin, but then still it's easy to mess up mentally, I would say. But looks to be very calm around the table.
Yeah, and her last break, Tim, wasn't very good either. So she's hoping try and get something going here. At least get a ball and make it a legal break. Gets a couple of balls. This is better. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was almost the best break she's had. 4 ball just spoiling the party there. She does have an edge, as you can see. Oh, she's not going to track the 9, Tim, is she? Is that a little bit too wild?
Well, I don't know. I have a
joking.
feeling it's thin. No, but it could be an option. Maybe. Well, no, she it's too thin. I don't think she can at least hit the 9 like a carom. She does have the 2 in the top left if she really wants to go aggressive, but that's a tough shot too.
Wow.
She proved me wrong on the that's a tough shot, but the shape she did not get. So jump cue is gonna come out. Needs a bit of draw on the cue ball though, so slight bit of work on this.
Yeah, that was a great 2 ball though, Tim. You could say a little bit unfortunate not to be on the 3. It's only a half ball jump. Oh, look at this. The 9 ball's going to spoil the party here, I think. Doesn't go on the side. Back to that 9 ball combo. Does she take this one on, or does she go for cover up table? I think she takes this on, Tim.
I think it's so tough to say no. I mean, you know it's a winning shot. Like, yeah, I don't know. Looks like she is going. Oh,
what a shot.
nice cueing there. So
Tell you what,
she
that
does
was
get
three incredible
the
shots.
break and run.
Yeah, 2 ball was fantastic. Jump shot was great. And that combo, to be honest, Tim, it might have looked easy, but the distance and in the side, it was quite tough. It's a good run out.
Well, you would almost think that it is Camilla's strategy to break the balls like this and make the one in the side. But it's a very unusual way of breaking the balls in general. I mean, it's not something you see very often. It surely has worked now. She has made the one. Plenty of balls passing the head string and shape on the 2.
This is the first time it's really worked. She would have to come down table next to the 9 for the 3 in the side. A little bit shorter pace, but what are you going to have to run the cue ball? Can she get in between the 5 and the 8? Is she going to hit any traffic here, Tim, or think she can maneuver this a few rails back to the middle of the table?
Well, I have to say, if she goes around the 6, there's a big chance of running into the 8 after the second rail.
Yeah, it was pretty big, wasn't it? Oh, that's
and then
nasty.
now, right on top of it.
She's kind of forced to go for this, Tim, even though it's difficult. The 5's quite near the corner. Is she stretching as well a little bit? It's hard to tell. She can reach it. The angle is there. If she does pot it, I think she'd go around the 7 potentially. I don't think the scratch is on.
I'm not even sure if I would take this on. I mean, it's so awkward queuing. Even if you go around the 7, you might hook yourself behind the 8.
Yeah, she does have a safety option as well. Play the 4 thin, like a kind of a cross bank. You can put it on the top rail, but she's going for this, I think. Yeah, it was a tough shot. Is it going to run past the 7 for the long rail? It is. There you see it. Chance for Lena here.
Well, this is a great chance now to get on the hill first for Lena. Don't really see too much problems at the table, except for the top right spin on this. Now, I'm not sure why she would have to go around the 6. I think with top spin, just one real backup table in between the 8-9 would have been just fine.
Yeah, but also, Tim, she probably had about 2 foot of table to play into. Even if she ran past the centre line of the table, she still would have been somewhat okay. Just adds extra pressure on this one now from Norway.
Well, and the shape. She has to go long rail, short rail. Check the cue ball out. Checked it slightly too much, but it's okay. She can kill the cue ball, but it's asking a little bit more of her stroke.
Yeah, the good thing is though, if you can just drag this in or hold this well, the 8 to 9 connecting is quite nice. Yeah, she's played that really well. Doesn't have to do anything really with the 8 ball. And this should be, she has had a few 8s that she's missed, so she'll give this a little bit more care and attention, you would think. Just to get on the hill, big moment.
Well, straight in on the 9 to arrive at the mountain. Lena Primus. Does get the job done. I'm still surprised Camilla went for that jacked up over the 8 cut shot. I think it was so tough. Me personally, I don't think I would have went for it.
Yeah, it was a difficult shot. Sometimes maybe you feel you've got to try to make something happen. Was at the right time? Clearly not in that rack, because she was punished for the mistake. So big break here. Let's see if she changes her break again. The last one she kind of went over the top of the one to the left side of the table, but if she does hit them pretty straight again, that one ball will track towards that top short rail. Oh well, this could be a chance to win the match right here. Not so simple to get on the 2 potentially, but a chance nonetheless. It's going to be a long 2, Tim. It's not going to be able to do too much with this one ball, I think.
Well, I have a feeling this match is far from over. Of course, there is some nerves. This is a longer 2 ball. A little bit of traveling to do, maneuvering the cue ball. Will we see Kojeva back at the table? This is the first time in a match we've seen a 3-game lead though.
Yeah, Lena's been queuing quite nice this match, and that was just I think that was more of an aiming thing. Big moment as well. She knew she had a chance to possibly run out for the match. But choice for Camilla. She's going to play the safety option here. Try and use that 5 ball. Leave the cue ball as tight as she can. It's pretty good, Tim. Where's the 2 going? Is it over the side? Let's have a look.
Well, it's still not easy to hit this and make it. Quite a lot of things can still go wrong, but it is a chance.
very tough to make, stretching. But safety was rewarded for Camilla, and now she's got a chance. 6 ball is the problem, really. Trying to get from 5 to 6 is going to need a little bit of creativity. Of course, if you can get the cue ball on that left side rail, and the 6 ball is potable. Yeah, she's taking this in the side. She could play it in the top as well, but preferring the centre. Taking a more hampered 3, Tim. That's interesting why she's played it that way. She had ball in hand. Thought she could have been a bit closer to the 3.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the 8 ball, might be making her awkward cueing again. See, now she's already a bigger angle on the 4 than she probably would have liked to be. Could have played the cue ball just slightly forward. This is a must run out for Camilla. The edge of defeat. Trailing 8-5. This is single elimination, so Lena just 1 rack away from the quarterfinal.
Yeah, I think that's, for me, Tim, that was a bit self-inflicted. I think with that ball in hand, playing it in the side, leaving a much longer 3 ball was the problem. It looked like she could have played a few options to get a little bit closer, but I like your option of just dropping the 3 in and leaving the 4 in the short side, but well, sometimes you just don't see the shots, or sometimes you play it the way that feels most comfortable. We can only make our opinion, not to criticise. Oof, that would have been something if that went in the side. 6 ball's still going to be the problem here, Tim. Needs to be a good enough angle on the 5 to get over to that side rail, you would think, somehow.
Just so scrappy. Like, sure, she has a good shot on the 4 now, but if she lands kind of straightish on the 5, it's already so tough to get on the 6. Well, does she move over far enough on the 6?
Don't think so.
It's... Well, she doesn't look too disappointed, honestly. But on the other side, she doesn't show too much either, so... Kinda looks like... It looks like she likes it. I would say it doesn't go.
Yeah, and even if she was to be able to bend it a little bit, Tim, she would be hooked behind the 8, I think. Maybe she can get it. No. Oh, she's been fortunate, though. That could have went much worse. I thought she might have left the rest out for Lena, though, but yeah. It's,
well, are you going to help your opponent to beat you? Come on, man.
No, I left the rest out. Yeah, this is a bit fortunate there. Maybe Lena can get some cover behind the 8 ball. It's a good chance here. Really needs to get the hook. Big moment if she can. How's the pace, Tim? Oh, she might left a gap, you know.
Yeah. Well, the one interesting thing on that shot, I don't think she needed the right spin. Just the top spin would have been fine to bring the cue ball a little bit shorter into the left long rail behind the 8. So she didn't really judge it perfectly yet with the angle that she needed to come out.
Yeah, and I think in her mind, she's probably thinking 2 rails to go behind the 8. Well, actually, probably just putting it on the left rail. She would have had a bonus of the 7 ball also blocking the path. Anyway, the gap is there. So how's the pressure for Camilla? She makes it, but
Oh,
she's
she's gonna
left
land behind the
ball.
8.
Surprised she played it so hard.
Well, it's nice to put a little bit more of a pop stroke on that kind of shot, you know, just to make sure the cueing was nice. But yeah, could have done with a little less. I'm just wondering, does she still have the cut in the side? But she's already got the jump cue out, but what a jump this would be if she makes this in the corner. No, it's not there. A chance for Lena to close it out. All the hard work has been done. Only one positional shot. And I'm quite sure she's thinking about the quarterfinal. I mean, obviously, it's a big grind. Difficult matches. So many good players out there.
Yeah, just composing herself. This is the shot right here.
Oh, slight wobble. But she's perfect on the 9. So this 9 to make it to the quarterfinal of the Predator Dutch Open in Assen. And there it is. So Lena Primus beats Kamila Kojeva 9-5 and advances through to the quarterfinals. Very struggling match, very difficult match, I would say, for both players. But eventually one will have to go through and one will have to go home. So this was Graham Hickman and myself, Tim Noiter, in the booth. And I'm very sure that the next match, the quarterfinal, we will possibly start that one very shortly. So make sure to stay tuned because we will play all the way till the end today. So be there or be square. We'll see you in a bit.
ladies and gentlemen, watching from wherever you are. A very good morning, still here in the Netherlands, as we will be following the proceedings in this quarterfinal. It's the EuroTour Predator Dutch Open, and with me in the booth is my dear friend, the immaculate shot caller, Graham Hickman. Graham, welcome.
Thanks, Arya. Looking forward to this one. Should be an interesting match for sure. As we know, Ina Kaplan is very well known. Bit of a veteran on the tour, coming off the back of winning in Slovenia only a few months ago. She's had back-to-back finals as well, Austrian Open and Slovenia, but she's a multiple title winner and a multiple medal winner in the European Championships as well. And Wendy Jans, yeah, she had a fantastic last 16 there, Arya, which I believe you commentated on, so she was quite convincing in that match, I understand.
Well, no, I actually did not commentate on her previous match. Actually, what I know Wendy Jans from her snooker background. Maybe some of the viewers, probably highly likely, they know that you and I have a profound passion for snooker. And as we pay attention to this first rack, when the time is ripe, I will give you a quick sum up of her illustrious career in her snooker past and present. And I can assure you, Graham, it's nothing short of insane statistics. So be interesting to see how she gets on in this match. But shortly later on that subject, let's see how Ina goes around this rack.
Yeah, it's a pretty good table. We're just coming off a very intense match a moment ago myself. Kamila Kojeva from Belgium against Lena Primus from Austria. We did find that the breaks were not so great, and it was a lot of tactical play back and forwards. But it's good to see already here. Chance for Ina with the balls wide open. She can be so dangerous. Very solid German player. Very quick to take the balls as well. Not seeing any dramas, to be honest, Arya. Nice angle to get on for the 6. Doesn't want to be totally straight, but she does look like she is. So the 7 just wants to make sure she lands an okay angle on this 7 to make the 8 as easy as possible.
Yeah, to be fair, I prefer to be high on this 7, so where the 6 is, don't want to go forward. Yeah, she's actually used the middle pocket, which is very crafty of her. The middle pocket is, helping her to get through the cue ball a bit easier rather than the side rail.
Yeah, needs good cueing here. She played it well. She might even be perfect. She might just have to roll this in, even if she's a little bit off angle. Just take a little bit of a longer 9. Now, while she tried to punch it across, I'm surprised she played it that way, Arya. The table doesn't really allow for that kind of shot.
Yeah, same with me here. I mean, she had a very better alternative, but well, this is well within her reach. This shot here needs to apply herself. Safely in.
Yeah, good shot. She's such a good shot maker, Ina. Very dangerous on the tour, and her titles over the years have proven that she's good under pressure. There was a bit of a comeback in her match. I think she was down in that match against Vivian Heine, but she did come through 9-6 on that one in the end, but seemed to be quite comfortable. But I'm pretty sure she was down, battled back. So another break for Wendy. It is 2-break format for those just joining, so each player will have 2 breaks, and then it will alternate over to the other player for 2 breaks. Oh well, that's not a bad break at all, Arya. Soft break, but makes 2 balls and the points is a 3-point system. So you have to make 3 points in total, and you make those points by pocketing a ball, gives you 1 point, or getting a ball past the head string or the break line gives you another point. Great chance here to get one straight back on the board.
Yeah, as you can see, she doesn't mess about when she's at the table. Very instinctive player indeed. And like you said, maybe ever so slightly a bit fortunate to be able to see the three, but that's all you can wish for after the break. There's no guarantee that you will see the ball on after the break, regardless of how well you've hit the break, of course.
Yeah, very steady. I'm impressed with her composure. Haven't seen Wendy play much. Maybe something distracting her there in the corner of her eye. She looked a little bit to the side. Yeah, nice.
Wendy Jans. So, are you ready for this, Graham? I'll just give you an insight of what Wendy Jans has done in her career so far. So, Wendy
Tell me.
Jans. She's a 9-time world champion in the World Ladies Snooker Championships. IBSF that was. She's got a record extending 14 times European Championships, 19 times Belgium champion in snooker. In recent years, she has turned her focus onto a hay ball, which is more or less a hybrid version of snooker and pool billiards. For those who are wondering what hay ball is, maybe you refer it to as Chinese 8-ball. And to bring it all back, in the most recent times, she's played 2 hay ball events. The most recent being in August, and it was the European Championships hay ball. She ended up in the semi-finals there, and there was another EPBF hay ball European Open. That tournament she ended up in the quarterfinals. So you're looking at a household name in the cueing sports. So it'll be interesting to see how she gets on in this, but there's something clear to be seen. Her mechanics are immaculate as ever, of course.
Yeah, I can tell. She's definitely got good fundamentals, and judging by what you're telling me, yeah, I wasn't aware of her as much. And if you look at the history of EuroTour, she hasn't really taken part in much at all. That's why I was a little bit curious to hear what's been going on. But I'm sure she's well known in the cue sports world, and if she is playing those hay ball events, which are becoming more and more popular, she clearly can play. And I'm certain, judging by already getting to the quarterfinals here, I think this is her first EuroTour, judging by the statistics, she's going pretty well. And if she's going to be taking up American pool on the Predator Tour more often, she's going to definitely be a handful and dangerous in this women's field division for sure.
Yeah, if anything, that's a bold prediction, but I think she's favorite for this tournament. But of course she needs to get past Ina Kaplan, who is very capable indeed, as you've just mentioned at the top of the program. Back-to-back finals in the previous EuroTour event and European Championship, so she won't be faced by Wendy Jan's resume.
No, definitely not. But I think when it comes to experience, yes, ability is one thing, and I'm certain Wendy will be very comfortable in making balls. But let's not forget, like I said earlier, Ina has got a lot of experience and a lot of titles, so it should be a good matchup. It's going to be a good game, this, Ari. I've got a feeling already by the first few breaks have been pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're spot on with that, Graham. One last thing I would say about Wendy, she's a proud owner of a pool and snooker hall in Belgium, and in her last participation, which was a different organizing body, government, she reached the final, beating Rianne Evans, 12 times world champion, and she narrowly lost on the final ball to Mink Nacharut, who is now on the Pro Tour, competing with the men. So, you know, in recent times, she's always been to the business end of tournaments, and she wants to keep that rich vein of form going in this event.
Yeah, very dangerous, and as you can see already, taking these balls out with knowledge of angles. Nice angle here, just to come down one rail, a little bit of top spin, maybe a touch of right spin. Well, there you see it. I think we're going to be in for a bit of a battle here, Aria. Ina is very capable, but Wendy very clearly is up for the challenge. It's all going to be about who gets to the table first for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so far it's only 3 racks played, but in open play, she's, you know, solid as a rock.
So we have the quarterfinals coming now, race to 9, and then back to back from now we will have the semi-finals, and then the final. Semi-final will be around 2 p.m. local time, with the final around about 4:30 local time, all depending how the matches go. But we should be in for some exciting stuff. So second break for Ina. As we said, 2 breaks per player on an alternate format. Trying to get that 1 in the side and the wing ball in the bottom right. Maybe she gets a bonus ball, the 1. Or she gets a little bit of a bump in there, but doesn't really have anything to go at. I don't know if she can see the 2 area. Looks, she might be a bit hooked here.
Yeah, just the right edge of the 2. Don't think she can see the left part of the 2 to play, which would be the most common pathway for the safety. So might have to consider a push out here.
Yeah, pushing out though. She is going to leave a shot on the 2, and this is kind of a bread and butter shot, I would think, for Wendy. Judging by what you're telling me, she might be able to just maybe double the 2, back down the center of the table. Can she hide behind the pink 4 and 5? Maybe, could be an option. Well, she played it a different way. She's left a 1 real kick, which is not too difficult for Ina. If she can catch the left side of this 2 area, I think she can get the cue ball, maybe back up behind that 4 and 5. That might be an option.
I think she can just see the edge of the 2, you know.
Yeah, good call. It's a bit short of pace though.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity there for me, because she could see the edge, like you said. I thought she would have got the hook, but maybe get a chance to see the long potting of Wendy here.
Tough shot this one, Graham. Particularly because the cue ball is pretty close to the top rail. Can't really generate enough backspin on this one. Might have to settle for a safety once again. Immaculate cueing. Look at that for a shot. That would have been challenging for the best of them in the history of the sport. Just made it look so easy. And you know, you could say she was a little bit fortunate on the 3, but I think you make your own luck. When you take a shot on like that, nail it, you deserve a bit of luck.
Yeah, it was a great shot. And it's worked out very nice indeed. Oh, hello. She tried to just play the slow one, but she did catch the point. Big mistake that. After such a big shot, she'll be not happy at all.
Little shake of the head. Like you said, it was probably the easiest shot after such a fabulous long pot. But nevertheless, as far as Ina is concerned, she doesn't care. Just needs to do what the table presents her.
It's interesting. I was just taking a little look at the stats, just on obviously both players, but I was just thinking, I said this was Wendy's first one, but funny enough, just a crazy statistic area I thought I'd share. She did play in 2006, and would you believe it? It was the Netherlands Open, or the Dutch Open, as it was called maybe back then. That was in September 2006. So she must like the Netherlands events, maybe.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a neighbor country, Belgium, Netherlands. It's quite easy to drive by car, so the travel expenses wouldn't be too high, you would imagine. Oh, where's the 9-ball going? Whoa, but she can, well, what do you reckon, Graham? Is it even worth trying to play the carom, or just commit to the pot here? I think the pot is easier.
I'm with you, Arya. If the cue ball was off the rail, maybe you'd try the carom, but the pot has to be the option here.
Little pressure on this one though. Safely in.
Yeah, nicely done. Not much in separation here. Bit of a missed opportunity there for Wendy, but Ina will be happy to pick up the pieces and level this up at 2-2. All of the matches at the minute are still kicking off as well, so very early. 2-1 across the board in all matches at the moment. Lena Primus 2-1 up against Tamara Rademacher from the Netherlands, and then 2-1 in the other matches. Also, you can get all the scores, live scores, from the EPBF.com website. Keep track of times, live scores, the live streams, everything. But here is Wendy's chance for 2 breaks now. Arya should be hoping to see if she can get something going.
That would do.
What, Arya. Yeah, she knows how to break. Very good. Pretty straight on this too, I think, though. Bit of a shake of the head.
Yeah, might have to settle to go forward, leave herself a thinner cut on this 3. Because, like you said, the angle is not ideal to draw it back, so might have to just go forward and settle what the table is presented to her.
That was the pace. Looks pacey.
Lovely.
Perfect.
That was perfect.
Yeah, very good. This
Took
could
a
be
little bit of
quick wrap.
risk with that shot, but could not have executed it better than that.
Yeah, obviously very confident. Needs to hold up a little bit. Doesn't want to go too far. I think she's okay here. 8 ball goes in the bottom left and the bottom right. So she's ever so slightly off angle on this 5. I'm not sure if she wants to use the long rail, or will she just take a little draw stroke. Yeah, she's taking the medicine here, Ariane. I think it just goes because of her, like you say, her snooker background. These long shots are pretty comfortable, you would think, for her. One good shot needed.
Yeah, you're right, Brahim. And when you look back and I'm sure we'll see it in the replay, if she does go on to put these last 2 balls, the shot she played, the position from the 2 to the 3. I mean, how many players would have played it that way? And she made it look as it was nothing. So it just goes to show how confident she is in her stroke. And what can you say? Well played.
Nice touch. Very well judged. I think already we see signs of a battle on our hands. As I mentioned earlier, Ina will be up for the battle for sure. But it's very clear any opportunity that presents itself for both of these players is likely to turn into a rack-winning moment. But let's see. I think the breaks that we've seen so far from Wendy have been very solid. Of course, Ina knows how to break too, but this is good signs for Wendy if she can replicate that break again. So 1 in the side, and that wing ball is her goal.
A little bit low with a cue ball.
Yeah, this one is illegal. She only makes the 1 ball and gets the 1 point above the head string, the break line, I think. Yeah, but the 2 ball, I think she might give this back to Wendy area.
Yeah, you're right. So one thing to take in consideration with an illegal break, you don't have the option to play a push out, but the opponent who did break has that option available to them. So for Ina, it's only a matter of can I or do I feel like I can take advantage of this situation, or if not, I'll just hand it back to her and then she needs to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, I think a little bit of a separation here. I think she can just avoid the 4 maybe. Just drop that 2 ball on the side rail behind the 6. Maybe. Maybe not. Just playing at pace, trying to get more distance, but didn't really get cover. Maybe she was hoping that 2 ball might have went into the 6 area to keep it down table, but it has leaked out.
Yeah, it's the most presumable scenario, you'd feel. Tricky shot here though for Wendy if she wants to play safe.
I'm not sure if she's left this. She didn't get the full cover she wanted. It looks like Ina's revving herself up to go for this. It's normally how she prepares herself. So I think she can see it. And with 3 ball being up the table, not a bad chance this. Not ideal. Could be a safety shot here. I don't think it goes in the bottom left.
Yeah, that's landed awkward now.
She could take it on still. She does have a bit of a good angle on the cut to play this with, kind of running side. Come down for the 4. She's missed it though. Tough shot, that area. It's always tough when they're so close, isn't it? Just to judge those pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one thing if you're like putting all your eggs in one basket to try and putt it, but you have to play position as well, which makes it even tougher. I think, though, Graham might have been a bit fortunate with the outcome. Looks a bit heavy to me.
8 ball's going to come to rescue.
Yeah, the nudge on the 4 actually helped her cause. And I think she's just blocked the pathway of the left side of the table, which does make this... It's a easy, fairly easy hit, but still, the cliche is, can you get it safe? Can you get it safe?
8 ball maybe. No, it's going to be on. Not this time. So she has got a bit of angle on this 3. So she will need to maybe find a gap. We'll see once we have a good look at the table. Yeah, she can come into the middle of the table. It's the 5 ball that she's shaking her head at, I think. She wants to be low on the 4. That's why she might be just trying to drop this in with side. The 9 ball's coming into play though. That's a careless one. It was the 5 ball area. She's trying to play the 5 in top right.
And it's one thing, Graham, you can talk about this subject as well. Most snooker players with their traditional background, they're a bit reluctant to play a lot of side spin. They're mostly accustomed to play top or bottom, but to play with a lot of side spin, it's very common in pool, but you know, snooker players, they try to avoid it as much as possible. And I felt like the way she executed the previous shot, it was a bit tentative, if that even makes sense.
Yeah, I think she thought she might just be able to sneak below the 9. Probably maybe required just a little bit of spin, as you say. But well, she's left this a little bit more angle, but she's going to have to play a bit of a shot here. I don't know if she can go forward above the 7. I think she might just be able to with a bit of top left. Don't know if that 7 might come into play. She can keep it low, but then she's going to have a little bit more of a thinner cut on the 6. Ideally, she wants to go above the 8 ball. But the risk of that area is if she goes above the 8 ball, there is a chance she could be straight on that 6 as well. So let's see.
Yeah, try to avoid risking hook herself on the 6. I think I agree with this shot selection. Needs to take care of the positional side of this shot, of course.
Yeah, I did like that option as well. I think going forward was just a little bit more, well, it could have been left the 6 ball a little bit more tricky, and the pot, which is in good shape now. She can just cinch this, and then Ina doing what she does best, grinding out a run out. 3-3. Once this 9 ball goes, nothing separating these two. A couple of mistakes here or there, but that's to be expected. We don't see everybody playing perfect pool, but so far it's been a pretty good match area. Standard wise, they've been taking their chances.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's very enjoyable. Played at a pleasant pace, if I may say. But how good is this setup, by the way, Graham? Look at the venue. A dream to play at. I mean, awesome.
Yeah, it's very nice, and we have more people will be enjoying this setup in the coming week as well. We have plenty of pool coming, not just the EuroTour, which will be concluded today. We then have the European Seniors Championships coming next week with all different disciplines, 8 ball, 9 ball, straight pool, etc. And myself, Arya, Tim, along with a lot of other commentators will be joining for those events too. Looking forward to that. Arya, should be also some fun there too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one way to guarantee you won't miss any of the action. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications button. I can assume some of our viewers are overseas, living overseas, so you might be living in a different time zone. Just make sure you turn on the notification button and you'll be notified as soon as we go live. It's completely free on YouTube, of course.
Yeah, some great things going on in the pool world. Predator doing a lot of good stuff, not only in Europe, globally. Obviously the 10-ball event's going on as we speak as well. Oh, what a great shot that is by Ina. What a stroke that is from there. Fantastic stuff.
Don't know whether she can just somehow get a bit closer on this 4-ball and land straight. Doesn't really want to run into the 9 if that is possible. Well, from this angle, she's got no other option. Might have to use the 9 to play position on the 5, but this 4, well, she's looking at the combination. What do you reckon, Graham? What would you do in this situation?
Well, I think the angle we had a moment ago, Aria, the 5-ball does play a part here. She could play just a kind of a straight combo. If we get the other camera angle on and see the other pocket, you will see the 9-ball is also running in a line to the 5. So it could play a big pocket, potentially. I would go for the 9 here. It's worth the risk. Yeah, I think she was trying to use the 5. Don't blame her for going for it.
No, neither do I. And I have to point out, I've not missed a single shot throughout this event, but for me, I'd rather go for the putt on the 4, to be honest. It's easier said than done, of course, definitely in hindsight. Nevertheless, Wendy back at the table.
Yeah, I agree. I think 9 times out of 10, Aria, I'm definitely on that path as well, where the pot can be made. I think sometimes circumstances just force you to think it's worth the risk. I think the 5 maybe give her a little bit of extra comfort, thinking, wait a minute, I might have a bigger bag as well. Either way, it's irrelevant. She did miss it, and still one more shot needed. 6 to 7. She's got a nice bit of angle to do something here to work with. Punch this round a couple of rails. She does want to have a pretty okay angle on the 7, ideally. How's the pace? It's a bit
That's
pacey.
too hard. That's way too hard.
Wow.
Might have to settle for the bank shot here. The cut is very thin. It's a horrible shot, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's a bank. Depends how aggressive you want to be here. She could play a slow bottom left-hand spin shot behind the 9 maybe. Put the 7-ball on that middle diamond on the short reel. Try and get that cue ball behind the 9. I do like the bank though.
Yeah, it's looking like she's going for the bank.
Oh, hello.
How's this cue ball? Oh boy. Well. Try and pick out a putt from here now.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those funny bank shots as well, isn't it, Aria? It's not a straight one.
Well,
Kind
I'll
of got
tell
a
you
half.
what. Sorry to interrupt you. I'll tell you, I think she might consider to try and cut this 9 in the middle and in the, erring in the side of safety as well. No, going for the long bank. You were right.
Yeah, I don't think I like that shot, if I'm honest. That bank was so difficult. Maybe she didn't have an option. She could have played the 9 up on the top short rail as a bit of a safety shot. Of course, he would be inviting a bank shot for Ina. I think she'd be more annoyed with that 6-ball. She got a little bit too much on the 2 rail shot.
Yeah, you're spot on, Graham. And I was a bit surprised because sometimes when you have let's say a high angle, the harder you hit the ball, the more time it takes to grab the spin. So I thought she automatically had to play it subtle, and she just punched it a bit harder. So by the time the cue ball was to grab spin, it was far too up table. Anyway, it was a slight misjudgment. Nothing to be panicking about. She's well and truly in this match, of course, but it is Ina who's taking the lead.
Yeah, maybe she's just trying to get close to her work. I can understand that. But I hear what you're saying. She had plenty of table to play with, really. There was no need to overrun it, but nonetheless, we're back to the second break of Ina. See if she can get a ball in. She does get a ball in. Is it legal? It is. Oh, and she's going to have a shot on the one as well, Aria, so could be a double punishment here if she can get through these balls. 3 ball goes past the 9. These are not bad at all.
No, I hear you, Graham. You're absolutely right. When you break, this is all you can hope for. No problems at the table. The balls are evenly spread. You have a nice opening shot on the... Well, she's lost her cue ball there. Might be able to retrieve the situation, but that is a poor positional shot, if I can say that, Graham.
Yeah, just got a little bit too much juice on that one. I think what you're saying, she still has an option. If she can make it, just drag it over to the side rail. It's just luckily for her, the 4 ball is just waiting. She missed it though. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake there. I don't know if she's left it, Aria. She might still be able to make this cut. She'll be fuming with that. Such a good break.
Well, I think she's left it, but it's a tricky shot here. She can't just play it dead weight, I feel. Wendy might have to use a little bit of right spin. I think the natural angle will send the cue ball. Yeah, there you go. See, she had to play it with right spin. Otherwise, the cue ball would have ran into the 9. It was a tricky shot, but in all fairness, didn't really threaten the pocket. So that's a tough segment of the match so far for Wendy.
Yeah, I still fancied Wendy to make that ball, if I'm honest. It wasn't that difficult, even with the spin. But, will be more than happy to come back to the table. Needs this to hold up a little bit. Doesn't want to be straight. She's going to have to play this. She might be able to draw it across. Or she can go top rail as well.
No need to do anything fancy with a cue ball here. As you can see, the 7 fairly close to the pocket, so anything off straight would do the task. Yeah, she can top this one through with some inside spin. A little tap at the table. Maybe she felt like she got a little bit fortunate there to land absolutely dead straight on the 8.
Yeah, I don't think she played that, but she will take it. Gives her a little bit of a cushion here. And then swinging back. Now we have some breaks coming from Wendy, which are going to be super critical. Just coming to a crunch part of this match where there's been a couple of mistakes from both players. But Ina has come out of it in a most positive way. So all of a sudden, a bit of pressure on Wendy. And she has been breaking well, Aria, so if she can try and get a first chance on the table, would be good.
Well, I've just picked up on something, that the 2 critical errors that Wendy's made in this match so far, that's cost her 2 racks, were both brought up when she had to play a delicate side spin shot. So that's something to keep our eyes up on, because in the previous rack she had a thin cut with some check side, if you want to call it that, and well, didn't go her way. And another rack she had a similar type of shot where she under hit the side spin and hooked herself. That's what's caused her to lose 2 racks. But you're right, Graham. Before this break she was breaking immaculate. But Ina, her demeanor is telling me she fancies the job, and why wouldn't she? She's 5-3 up. And she's played very solid indeed.
Yeah, that break didn't really go to plan. But neither did that 2-ball positional shot. She's lost the cue ball somewhat. She might have a bit of a shot here. She could pot the 3, play into the 7-ball area, and maybe use that as a stopper for the 4 in the bottom left. Might be her only option, unless she can find something else. Could be a shot for her here. Half ball bump off the rail would be nice, just to push the 7 down table. She's missed it.
Yeah, well, does she have a cheeky little combination? 4 onto the 9? In the top left corner pocket? It's a bit of a shot to nothing, really.
Yeah, that 8-ball is looking inviting, isn't it? So she could play the combo, try to get the cue ball behind the 8. Maybe that could work. Just depends how hard she has to play the combo. I think that's where she'll be tracking. It's a funny one, because you know yourself, Arya, when you go for 2 shots you end up getting neither. Does she go for the safety, or does she go for the combo? Trying to play sometimes 2 shots in 1. Yeah, you can mess them both up.
Yeah, you're right. Something Stephen Hendry talks about very often. You just have to commit. Well, she got the second part of the shot right, and do you know what? It was a very sensible shot selection. It'll be interesting to see how good Wendy is with a jump cue. It's not something snooker players are well known for, of course. Not allowed in snooker, jumping.
It was a pretty good hit, but it hasn't worked out. Well, it has worked out for Ina. Just wondering here, going forward might not be an option. I wonder if she can pinch this pocket and come back down for the 5. Kind of where the cue ball is now would be okay. For the bottom where the chalk is, play the 5 in that pocket maybe. It's not bad. That'll work.
Yeah. She can get enough purchase on this, on her cue ball. She could hold it. Could also go forward, of course. Just needs to make sure she goes high enough to be able to see the 6. You see high enough? Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's good. 7 in the top right, I think. Keep it safe. Keep it simple. Just run this over. Even if she's straight on the 7. She's going up table. I don't understand why she did that. Maybe she had too much angle. I thought she could have just rolled it through. 7 in the top and the 8 was just waiting there. But felt like flirting with danger a little bit. Well, she's not hanging around Arya. She smells the blood. Trying to just get these balls down and onto the next.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been raving about Wendy's mechanics, rightly so, but when you look at a closer look at Ina's mechanics, nothing to fault her for either. She's very solid, understands the game, understands the every skill department, and well, her lead is, I believe, a true reflection of this match. I don't know how you feel about that, Graham.
Yeah, she's just all around solid, Ina. She's good in all departments. Her shot making is very good, but knowledge of the table, that's why she's won all that she has. But yeah, she's now got herself in a very good position. 3 rack deficit. It's a pretty good hit. Lost the cue ball a little bit. It is legal. I think she might have a shot on the one. She can probably see the edge at least. Can she pot it though? Hard to tell from this view. No, she can't.
I actually felt, Graham, that she hit the one ball way too thin, because I always pay attention on the cue ball where it hits the side rail, and it went below the middle diamond, which is an indication that she's not hit the one full enough. Ideally, you want it to come right in between the middle or the, well, depending on which side you're looking at it. But if you're taking the middle pocket, you want your cue ball, after making contact with the one, hit right in between the first diamond and the second diamond below the middle pocket. That's exactly the sweet spot. You want to hit the one and your cue ball after. It's called the cut break. But in this occasion, her cue ball went towards the bottom corner pocket, which indicates she did not hit the one full enough.
Yeah, you're right. The cue ball is generally a giveaway. Oh, Ina going for this one. Wasn't able to make it. She could be in trouble here if Wendy can just sneak that one ball in front of the 7 and leave the cue ball there. I'm not sure if she can. Maybe with a bit of spin.
I don't know how you feel about this, Graham, but I feel like this particular rack can play a big part in this match, because 7-3 down, you know, Ina is very close to the finishing line. 6-4, it's all to play for.
Yeah, fully agree. This rack is probably the biggest one of the match so far. Not only in terms of just the scoreline, but where they are in towards the finish line. It's a good call. There is a combination here. I think she has to take this on. The only challenge I see is maybe the cue ball. Where is it going to end up? I don't think she can play into the 5. And I think if she goes across the table, she could hook herself. She needs to be on that left side rail, really to have a shot on the 1. Oh, she could hit the 5, so well played. Good chance here.
Needs to stamp her authority in this match, and in this particular rack. That was a good opening pot. Needs to capitalize, I feel, Graham.
Yeah, she's a bit short of pace here though. She might have to play a little love bump on the 3 maybe. Not sure if she can draw enough. Maybe she can. Sometimes a bit deceiving how much they can get on the cue ball. If not, a little bump on the 3 might have to be the option. Well, she did play a bump, we heard it, but she missed the 2.
Yeah, you can clearly see the annoyance in her body language. It's these are rare mistakes by the cueist juggernaut.
Yeah, but Ina, she's been here many times. Punishing players is what she does. Cue ball in the centre of the table if she wanted, but she's came across. Doesn't want to be on the rail though. She could have played centre table and took the 5 around.
I can't tell by this picture, but I'm wondering whether she can just bump into the 9 for the 6 in the opposite middle pocket. Yeah, she did have that shot presented to her. It's a little bit fortunate all in all, because she landed awkward close to the rail, but she still had an option. She can still retrieve the situation.
Yeah, Yeah, she might have to punch this in off the bottom rail. She's not going for a bank, surely. Gonna punch this in. Oh, that's perfect. That will do just nicely.
This will
Just
hurt.
Yeah, just stun this out. Maybe a little bit of draw. Perfect for the 9.
Yeah. The 7-3 is guaranteed now.
Yeah, a few too many mistakes coming from Wendy's side, unfortunately. But fortunately for Ina, she does not mind. More than happy to pick up those pieces. And she has rightly so earned a 7-3 rack lead. And to make matters a little bit worse, it's now Ina's break. So if she can get one of these two of her breaks, of course she would love to have them both, but in her mind, if she can get at least one, it will get her to the hill. So Ina now, 2 breaks that she has. Sounded a bit soft. She makes a ball and she gets the points, and she has a shot on the 1. So judging by where the 2 is, it's not a terrible angle. She can top this through. She's going to have to come all the way down table, probably 3 rails. Try and get to that middle diamond. Bit of pace on this. 1, 2. Just needs a bounce, would be good. Bounce would be nice. She hasn't got much in terms of angle to work with. She might be able to... Yeah, she's actually on that angle. It's okay. I think she can punch this out. Yeah, she had more than enough. All of a sudden, a couple of shots in. What a great chance. Oh, she's just pushed it to the far jaw. Try to maybe create a little bit more angle than needed. Ina with a poker face. You never know if she's winning or losing. She's very composed. But deep down inside, she'll be a little bit annoyed there. That was a great chance to get on the hill. She'd done probably the hardest part, getting from 1 to 2. Chance for Wendy here though. 6 to 7 is going to be the shot. Needs to make sure she has an angle. That's why she's playing it in the side, it seems. So she's going to probably have to draw this 6. Don't know if she can use a rail or not. Maybe just to pull this back. Yeah, using the short rail. Very good. So a rack that Wendy was hoping to get on the board here. Bit of a mistake there from Ina. Had a good chance to get on the hill there area, but not to be.
No, it's, of course, this is something we often see happen, particularly in 9-ball, isn't it? Where the momentum shifts back and forward. I wanted to ask you something, and I mean, yesterday I had the pleasure to doing commentary with Pascal, our esteemed colleague, and I would love to pick your brain about this particular topic. And the question is, if you have to build your perfect player, and let's say aside from solid, reliable mechanics, because there's no way around that department of the game, what would be in your eye the one, unmissable component to focus on?
So many parts of the game, but the nature of the game is to pot balls for me, and if you're a phenomenal potter, I think you can get yourself out of a lot of trouble. The break is a big part as well, of course, definitely in this day and age. And then the kicking and the safety and always also plays a part, but I think without the ability to be a very, very good potter, you're going to struggle for the most part. So for me, it would have to be potting. Well, I think it was just to change the conversation for a minute there. What has Wendy played there? I think she thought she could drift down the table area, but it's gone completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, potting for me, I think you've got to be able to make the shots. Oh, where's the two going? Oh, she's going to be in a world of trouble here, unless that two ball is pretty straight in the side, but I don't think it is. Yeah, you kind of expected that. So from your side, what did you say was the most important?
Well, to continue on the topic we were just talking about. So it seems like skill acquisition is the main focus on your behalf. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, I think so. I would agree.
Yeah, and I do feel that you've made some very solid points. Oh, she's fluked the 6, hasn't she? Yeah, she has.
Where's the cue ball going to end up? Well, does it go past the 3 area? I don't know if it goes in that top corner.
But she could definitely pot it in the top left corner pocket, so she might have to stun this cue ball just below the right center pocket, commit to the shot. Yeah, she's looking at the potting angle to pot it in the top left corner pocket. Pressure shot, important shot as well. Well, just using the natural angle actually, so dropping it in. Lovely pot. Had to make that, I feel, Graham.
Yeah, it was one of those angles that does favour the kind of slow-paced pot. Makes the pocket play very big. She's got a bit of juice on this one. How does it look? It's not bad. Stop shot here. Probably the likely course of action. Leaving a nice angle to come back over for the 7. Just rolling it through instead. But yeah, 7 to 8. Kind of where the cue ball is now would work fine.
Exactly.
Especially because she's right-handed, so that would be a nice, comfortable one.
Yeah, I agree. That would be the ideal spot. A little bit thinner. So has to play with a bit of right hand spin just to widen the angle. Doesn't need to smash this one in, of course. Can play it with a medium pace. There you go. Couple of nice pressure pots, has to be said, Graham.
Yeah, she's taking these well. Just lets Ina know that she's not going anywhere just yet. Comes back to that ball she missed just a moment ago to get a chance to be on the hill. You always look for moments in matches where you think, oh, could that be a big miss? And at the moment, not yet, but it definitely keeps Wendy in the hunt from 7-3 to 7-5. And now, break opportunity for herself here. If she could sneak a break and run in, that would be the perfect outcome.
Yeah, I feel that she needs to at least convert the first. So as long as it's 7-6, even if for whatever reason Ina gets to 8, it's still doable. If she immediately goes 8-5 behind, it's a tall order. Once again, she's hit the one way too thin. Cue ball went towards the first diamond closest to the bottom corner pocket. Needs to keep an eye out on her contact on the one ball, I feel.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's costing her the points as well. The balls aren't breaking as she expected. This looks pretty okay. Up and down. I do expect Wendy to make contact with this. It's not extreme difficult. It's just more about what's the outcome going to be. There is a slight chance she could make this if she can catch the rail just before the two.
Wow. Oh boy.
Big miss that. Big misjudgment. It wasn't a difficult one to really hit in the grand scheme of it. There was no traffic, just an up and down. But she's also had the cardinal sin of opening up those problem balls. This is another great chance for Wendy. Sorry for Ina, apologies, to get on the hill.
Yeah, I agree with you, Graham. That was a poor attempt. I mean, she at least should have made contact with the two. Yeah, fair enough, she would have left it up. But to give your opponent not even give, a ball in hand and even open up the table is, well, it could prove very costly indeed for her in the grand scheme of things. Once again, doesn't need to do anything extravagant with a cue ball. Cross it up and down, so side rail. Anything but straight on the 6 would do.
Yeah, a little bit shorter pace. It's going to be hampered over the 9, maybe a little bit. Well, it's just landed to the left of the 9. I know it's small details, but that might make it just a little bit more comfortable that it's held up. If it was one more ball to the right, it would have been a lot more difficult. She's going to have to find the gap here. She might try to come inside the 9 and the 7 area. Just on that path.
Key shot this. How is her cue ball? Well, spot on, you'd have to say.
Perfectly inside the 9 and the 7, yeah. I mean, it's ball in hand, basically. Very well done. And that shot there was the key one. I don't think she's going to make the mistake this time round. This looks very much formality city.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it, Graham? Because based off her background, Wendy Jans, you would expect her to be the player with the least amount of errors, but the polar opposite is true in this match. It's Ina who's made far less of the mistakes. And, well, Wendy Jans has played well in this match, and she's still in the match, but now for her to continue to the semi-finals, needs to win the 4 possible remaining racks, and she has to rely on her opponent as well. And like I said just a moment ago, she's been playing very solid with far less mistakes. So how do you reckon her chances are?
Yeah, I think she's lost the break for sure. Might be a bit fortunate here. The cue ball did, again, like you said, was a thin one, but it got bumped back up the table. But in terms of chance to get back in the match, this break has worked out very nice. 2 ball over the corner. Easy starter on the 1. Yeah, don't really see anything of any complication here, to be honest, Aria. If she can get this one back, Put a bit of pressure on Ina's breaks. Who knows? 8-6, she's still in it.
I'm just wondering, when you get in this type of situation, Graham, what's the thought process from your point of view?
Yeah, for me, it's just taking a look at the most difficult positional shot that I'd have to play at some point, which is probably 5 to 6, maybe.
Oh, actually, I was referring to the score line, to be honest.
Well, scoreline, it's just taking one rack at a time, isn't it? That's all you can do. At this moment, it's trying to just not make a mistake is what goes through my mind. Make your opponent win the match. Don't give them the match. That's the only thing I try to keep thinking as best as possible. So many times you see people, and I've done it myself many times, by the way, Aria, just you're at the table, something like this, where it's a little bit tricky and nice angle to come up and just hang the 5 or something and gift the match. So easy to do.
Lovely shot.
How's the pace? Very well done.
Gorgeous, gorgeous shot. Yeah, I agree, Graham, and also with the philosophy. I think you can only control what. Well, once again, she's arced the cue ball way too much, but still fine. But I agree with you on that topic. You just need to focus on the things you have in your own hands, which is, execute the shot in front of you as good as possible, and just take it from there. I mean, there's no point in giving up or thinking too much ahead, but one thing is for sure, she'll know, Wendy Jans, with the vast amount of experience she's got, that she has to rely on a bit of fortune, a bit of cooperation from Ina Kaplan. But Ina Kaplan, well, will get 2 breaks to kill off this match. If she fails, however, it is Wendy Jans who will get the final break of this match. A lot of pool play to happen if and when we get to that stage, of course.
Yeah, Ina, in her mind now, is thinking exactly what you've just said. I've got 2 breaks to try and put this match to bed. Doesn't want to leave it in the hands of Wendy for sure.
Legal break, yes, but the 2 ball very congested, so as far as Wendy is concerned, she might feel that she'll at least get to the table one more time.
Yeah, I like this thin cut on the 1 ball. Go for the open the 2 ball up, just with a little bit of semi pace. Oh, she's playing the safety maybe. Needs to pull up though. Yeah, she's thinking maybe pot the 1 and leave Wendy locked up behind that 9. It's just ran a little bit. Oh, she might have left this. I think she has.
Yeah, it's a tricky shot, wasn't it, Graham? It might, on the untrained eye, it might have looked like she was careless, but it's actually the positional shot on the 2. She just ever so slightly ran too far, where she couldn't hit the 2 full ball, and to glue the cue ball behind the 9, that could have and possibly should have been, match ending sequence. But now it's Wendy at the table once again with a potting chance, safely in. As ever, it's all about margins in Q Sports.
Well, she's lost the cue ball there. I don't know if she was thinking to catch the rail or not, but this just changes the whole plan.
Well, She's got a very delicate and tough positional shot here. Just has to miss the 8 ball if she's going for attack, that is presuming. Well, trying to draw it back with a lot of spin. Well, pressure pot coming up.
Yeah, she's just taking the medicine. I think she would have liked to have held a little bit more on the other side of the 8 ball, but I don't think that was possible. Can she hold for the 6? It's going to be a bit of a draw shot. Well, she was able to hold, but missed the 5. What a big shot this would be for Ina. Could this be a typical Ina shot? Pump in the 5, come all down table to land on the 6 to win the match.
She's going forward, so she needs to incorporate some power in this shot. She's been fortunate, I feel, Graham. She's left the pot on this 5, but the positional side of the shot, no way to guarantee that Wendy will land nicely on the 6. Actually, if she's going for this cut, she will definitely run into the 6.
Yeah, she's definitely taking this on. Maybe try and bump the 6 back up table. Have a shot going up the table. Don't think she can leave it on the bottom. Oh, she's got the double kiss. Oh, she's had a result though. She might be in trouble behind this 9 area. 2 rails.
It's a chance, alright, Graham. If she can execute the shot you've just pointed out, could be advantage Ina. How's the pace? No, it's not there.
No, I think she played that a little bit too tentatively. She was focusing so much on the cue ball that kind of forgot about the 5. Kind of needed more of a stun rather than just a... Luckily for her though, the 5 doesn't go. There is an aggressive bank maybe, if she wants to take that on.
Important passage of play. I mean, Wendy has to make up her mind before she actually gets down and play the shot. Either commit on a, well, good safety shot or attack, but can't afford to play something in between.
Yeah, she could roll up to the 6. Or she's just playing play by the 8. The only downside of this shot area for me, as much as it was the obvious one, you're almost guaranteed to leave a sniff at the match.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, when you do leave a shot on, especially big ones, how many times does the opponent seem to make it? Not this time though. So good safety shots gave her a chance.
Bold move, but I agree with you, Graham. This time around, it's worked out for her. Still needs to punish Ina for that failed attempt to pot the 5.
Yeah, I guess what we'll find out soon enough, Arya, is so Ina's now had 3 chances. Granted, 2 of them have maybe been a little bit. Oh my gosh!
Wow!
Too soon. She's smiling.
Unforgivable. A rueful smile.
Yeah, she tried to pinch a bit to make it straight and come back for the 7. I was just about to say, Ina's had about 3 chances, 2 of them rather difficult, and she hasn't been able to capitalise. How big could that be in the match? Well, we're about 1 pot away to find out. Well, here we go, Arya. This is for the win. Here we
Well,
have it.
there we have. Sorry, there we have it. Ina Kaplan closing out this match with an impressive 9-6 win. She had a tough opponent on her hands, but came through this test. Well, she will proceed towards the semi-finals, where she will meet the winner of our own home soil favorite Tamara Rademakers versus the winner of Tamara Rademakers versus Lina Primus. That match is 6-5 in favor of Tamara. The other remaining semifinals, Sandra Baumgartner 5-6 down against Daria Siranchuk from Ukraine, and Bojana Sarac 8-4 up versus Anna Gradisnik. Still a lot of pool to be played. Keep an eye out on the match and the schedule. I believe the next semifinals are scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. So one way to guarantee you will not miss any part of the action is subscribe and turn on the notifications button, so you'll be notified when we go back live once again. On behalf of myself and Graham, thanks for your time and attention, and we'll be back shortly with the semifinals. Bye for now.